Okay. 3,
2.
1. Welcome, everyone, to the latest episode of the Testing Room, where 3 of the gaming industry's best video game consultants who have never actually consulted on a video game bring you new topics each and every week. As always, I'm Alex, aka the Gosfather.
I'm Christian, aka Sudowoodoo45.
and I'm Travis, Robo Baggins.
Yay. We got a guest, as you can see, this week with us. Preston is doing something that means he's not here. I think he traveled home into St. Louis.
I don't know why. Yeah, yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's home in St. Louis. But either way, he decided not to join us.
He's doing a big
this
one too.
week.
He's there for the whole week.
Yeah, so we're gonna bring you a side quest this week. We're gonna hang out, chat with Travis a bit, and then we'll be back next week with our normal episode. And I'm not sure what we're gonna do with the book club. We might drop book club like normal. We might drop it a week later. That's all on Preston. It really will depends on when we record, when he wants to publish. So just keep a lookout for part 2 of
The
Bramble.
final part.
When we get to that. Yeah, the final part of Bramble when we get to that. But as always, everybody, let's go ahead and dive into our week. And who wants to kick things off? What have you guys been up to?
Travis, you wanna go first since you're the guest?
Yeah, I'll start us off. So I'll start with things I've been watching. Obviously, I've been watching The Last of Us. Won't really get into that. I'm all caught up on that. And then I think we'll be watching the new episode with Alex and Allie on Sunday. I started a new anime. For those of you that don't know, I've not really watched a ton of anime. I've watched Chainsaw Man, I've watched Afro Samurai, and that's about the extent of my anime watching.
Afro Samurai is dope.
Yeah, but per a recommendation of a friend, they recommended me try Delicious in Dungeon, which I don't know if you all have seen. I think it's on.
No, but that does sound, Alex, follow me here. That feels like a show Preston would have told us about.
It does sound like one.
It does.
Is it like the dungeon cooks? Are they like going in dungeon and cooking food from the things they kill?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's like Monster Hunter, but if they cook their food, essentially that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
but they go in very in depth about how they cook it and how they prepare it, and it's very it makes me want to eat the things they're eating, even though I never would in real life.
Yeah, I've seen trailers on that. I don't remember if I've seen it on Crunchyroll or on Hulu, but I've seen Netflix. But I've seen trailers of that show. So yeah, it does sound like a Preston show.
Like, it sounds like the show that Preston was like, the way he would describe it was like, I was scrolling through Crunchyroll one night, I saw this title, and I decided I have to take a look.
Oh, okay. I thought when I said that you meant like delicious in a different way, and I thought that's why you related it back to Preston, so I wasn't sure.
I mean, it could also be that. Like,
that's not what I thought, but yeah, no.
But
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen that one. I haven't watched it, but I know what it is.
It's been pretty good so far. I do think per Alex's, he didn't really recommend it, but just based on how he talked about it, I do think I'm going to watch Arcane because I haven't seen that either, and I know it's a pretty easy watch at only 2 seasons. So I've been trying to watch a little bit more anime just because it's not something I've really watched. I'm trying to start with something that doesn't have 20 seasons out the gate, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So.
I'll rip this Band-Aid off now. You just don't need to watch shows that have 20 seasons. It's okay. Don't let people convince you that you need to watch Naruto or you need to watch One Piece. Ain't nobody got time for all that.
No, and honestly, that old One Piece animation's not good. Like, I've seen clips. It doesn't look great.
And people look, and apparently the show's great now. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not watching 1,800 episodes, so I'll never know. All I'm saying is like, if you want to, like, if you feel like it and you're like, cool, I'm gonna go do it, do your thing. But don't ever let anybody pressure you into thinking like, oh, I have to watch a show that's 1,000,000 years long. It's okay.
Yeah, because that's the one thing. That's one of the biggest reasons I haven't started sooner is because I know a lot of those shows that were recommended to me are pretty big time sucks, and I'm just not for that. You know what I mean? Because the more time I'm watching things, the less time I get to play games. So I'm just trying to find something easy I can watch.
What things have been recommended to you?
Dragon Ball Z is one of them, obviously. My Hero Macadamia.
So here's the problem.
My Hero's an easy watch. It's long,
not,
but it's not
too long yet.
It's like 5 seasons or 6, but it's not
too long yet. It's getting there, and so if you get in, then it's not bad.
Got you.
I would say shows like your Demon Slayer, your My Hero, like some of those newer
Yeah.
shonen animes or whatever, because they're not too long yet. If you felt like there was one that looked dope, you could get in now and it wouldn't be too long. A show
Demon
like Dragon Ball
Slayer
Z,
is even shorter than My Hero right now.
a show like Dragon Ball Z, here's the problem, is that like that show is great, and I would also recommend it to somebody. But I've been watching that since I was a child, and so it's really easy for me to say that because when a new season comes out, I only have to watch one episode a week, not 5,000.
Are they still
So-
doing new episodes?
Yeah, I mean they're new series, but yes, like there's Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, then there's technically GT, and then there's Super, now there's Daima.
So with that new series, same characters, new villains, right? Is that what it is?
Sure. For the purposes of this conversation, sure.
Okay, but it's not
If
like,
you, to answer here, I'll put it like this way.
or is it like a reimagining where it's like
No.
those other stuff?
No,
never
it is a
happened? Okay.
continuation of whatever series came before, but sometimes there's a time skip, sometimes there is a change of some kind. Other time it's just a continuation. Like who knows? It depends on whatever the thing is. Like from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z is literally the only difference is like Goku as a kid, Goku as an adult. That's it. Like that's the difference between
Were the Dragon
Ball
Balls, were all the Dragon Balls ever collected?
so many times.
Well, then, so you
That's
think
not the
it
point. That's not
Okay.
the point of the show, though. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha. What is the point of the show?
it's
If you had to
journey,
truncate it down, just
Tell
play.
us
it's Journey
more,
to the
he
West.
says.
It's Goku's journey.
So he tries to become a god,
Yes,
and he's never done it.
he has.
Then why is it still going?
Well, now the current series Daima is actually it's like a prequel, but it's Toriyama's last work, so it's before he passed. But it's like between one of the series there was like a big giant like time gap.
Mm-hmm.
This is that time gap being explained now.
Okay.
Well, okay.
But for all intents and purposes, Alex, to your point, it ended.
Okay.
As far as the timeline is concerned,
It's done.
once godhood was reached, it was over.
Okay. Interesting.
Nice.
It's just so like I do watch some anime, and I watch the platforms where anime is on, and I don't even think I've seen like new episodes. They must just know that like if you watch Dragon Ball, you're gonna be
You're going to search it.
You're gonna know, right? So like they don't even advertise new episodes of Dragon Ball. Like I just thought it was something that was finished years ago.
No, Z was finished years ago.
Sure.
And then so was GT, so was regular Dragon Ball. Super finished up a couple years ago, and then Daima is the one that's going now.
Travis, Demon Slayer is shorter than My Hero. So My Hero, if you want to get into, it's great. But Demon Slayer is actually shorter, so it's even easier to get into right now, and the animation's fantastic.
Okay.
So like I think that's what 3 seasons right now, Christian. Demon Slayer.
3, 4 maybe.
3. It's
something, I don't
not.
know.
It's not long
And
because
the-
I just finished it like earlier this year, or maybe late last year. It was very easy,
And then there's 3 movies that are coming out that will finish the show off, and that's it.
Now
which is wild.
is Berserk just in like reading form, or is it also a show or movie?
if you are
you
wanting
cannot-
to experience,
You cannot get the full story of Berserk in
Yeah,
a TV
if
show.
you are-
I remember
if
you
you are
all
wanting
saying
to
that.
get-
Yeah.
there are arcs of Berserk that are animated,
Gotcha.
for better or for worse.
Okay.
There is the most popular one on, if you do like Crunchyroll right now, is post Eclipse. So it essentially picks up where it anticipates you knowing what happened during the eclipse, and if that's the first thing you experience, like, because I knew Berserk, but like I didn't know the full details of Berserk, so that was my first, like, to your point, Travis, like my first animated experience with Berserk, and I was like, I feel like I've missed something, and then going back and reading, I'm like, oh, I've missed 74 chapters of
You've missed a lot.
Of
You missed
this.
a world-altering event.
yeah. So like I don't, and I get it. Like we've talked about this on the show before, and I think we've talked about it with Jake maybe on the show as well. Maybe not. We just talked to Jake in general about it. Like, there's a reason why the eclipse has never really been animated well. It's been done once, or like you can find pieces of somebody like a fan made video on YouTube.
No, it's a fully animated. Like,
Was it?
But it's the old anime that did it.
Yes.
Now, if you have an appreciation for that style like I do, then it's great. I think it still holds up today. But if you were wanting to see it in like new flashy Alex jingle keys in front of my face thing, it's not going to be. It won't live up to that.
I've watched the animated version of that, and it is not. It is not the full eclipse. It is
But
not
it
as
is. But
bad.
nothing. But
That's what I'm saying.
But no show is like no show is the full version of whatever is in the manga.
Right. So it
is as close as you're going to get.
You should read it
but
if you're gonna.
You should just read it.
Okay.
If you want to experience Berserk front to back, you need to read it.
There are things like My Hero and Attack on Titan in the early seasons and early episodes are almost panel for panel, like shot for shot of those books. And then
the bigger moments they fall apart. Well, they don't fall apart, but they cut things.
But you get the gist of it. Berserk is one of those things that is so unique in its storytelling, and there are things that they made up for this that like bring such world building that if you truly want to experience it, I'm gonna say go ahead and read it. It's a hard read. Like I've made it places in that and be like, I need to put this down and I'll come back to it later. Like I still the issue that Jake got me, I just happened to leave off right at the eclipse because I didn't know the eclipse was coming next. So the hardbound copy collection he sent me that I ordered is the eclipse, and I've made it past that and stopped reading. And I look at it and go, I need to go back to that, but it's hard sometimes to go back to.
It is, yeah. It's crushing.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's also not something I would. I mean, look, to each their own, but I've always said, like, I have a hard time watching shows or, like, playing games where I feel like I have to explain it. And I know your significant other who's not as into that sort of culture. And that's not something you want to have to try and explain.
Oh, probably not.
No, it's not.
It's not.
You can go. It's a really easy. You just go, guts, cool, big sword.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
So you'll probably just
That's a
want to go in the
sentence.
other room and play Power Washer Simulator while I'm watching this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can't watch things that are too dark because it makes her not sleep for a while. So, you know.
This would qualify.
There is dark and there's Berserk.
Yeah. There's Dark is what it was based off of Berserk. Like Berserk found a new bottom for
Oh yeah.
where you walk and you're like there's an old meme that is it's this guy, and I think it was like, you know, back when like Instagram Reels were like brand new. And he's like, hey, like he's like reading through manga or whatever, and so he's like, hey guys, and he's like an older guy, he's maybe like in his 40s, and he's like putting up the first book, and he's like, all right, you guys have told me, so I'm gonna read all of it. Here we go, blah blah blah. And then somebody did a cut to it's like right during like the first parts of the Golden Arc, and he's like, man, this is so great. I cannot believe that people, like, I didn't get this recommended sooner. I can't wait, blah, blah, blah. And then it cuts to right after the eclipse. And it's this dude, and he's just standing there looking at the camera. And then he literally is, like, holding the book, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Why would you have me read this? Like, this is so sad. Like, it was just, like, a whole...
Oh, wow.
Like, it is... Yeah, it's a bummer.
And it's a bummer.
But
is a great way to
it's also great, and it is, and Alex can attest because he's read it now, and this is no bullshit. It is, just from an art perspective, one of some
I've never
of the
seen black
most
and white like it.
beautiful, like panel like, ever drawn by a human ever. Like,
Yeah.
Miura was literally in a class of his own. It is some of the most impressive like pieces of art to look at.
Yeah. What he can do with black and white to world build with other, like, there's no color, but you can see all the color in it in this world. It's
You know what
crazy.
it looks like.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
But yeah, bummer is a good way to describe it because like it's not always sad. So it's a lot of times sad. It's a lot of times infuriating. It's a lot of times like I kind of want to look away from the page. It's
Yeah.
a bummer.
Okay. Well, all right.
I mean, you should read it.
I'm
like,
sure we've totally sold you on it.
It'll take you a while before you get to the eclipse. So I can't wait to hear for like the 2 months of you talking about like, oh, I've had time to read it and I've really enjoyed this, and like then we'll all know when you actually get there.
And I'll say, why have you let me do this? But
Also, and it's because we have to bring it up when Berserk gets brought up, but just so we're clear, Alex and I are firmly on the side of, if you are a human being who has typed the phrase, Griffith has done nothing wrong in your life, you deserve to be in jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you've clearly have done illegal things or plan on doing illegal things.
Yes.
For
All
sure.
right, I'll remember that. I was gonna watch the new Devil May Cry, but I think Alex said it was not.
Nope.
Don't do it.
Nope.
Did you watch it?
Don't
Did
do
you watch
that.
it? Did you?
I know, but I watched
Okay.
enough. I know.
Oh, did you? I watched about 11 minutes of it. I don't know if you made it longer or shorter than me.
No, let's say shorter as far as physical time, longer as far as osmosis is concerned. I know, and no, absolutely the fuck not.
Okay.
Do not watch that show.
I knew Christian would hate it. I that's why I watched it right when it came out because I saw it pop up on Netflix. I was like, oh, let me check this out. And they gave him this like 18-year-old like child voice, and that is like credits, and all of a sudden it's fucking Limp Bizkit and Roland. I was
So
like,
here's the thing.
choice. It's a choice.
It is, but here. So I just want to be very clear because I don't want people to be like,
What
you
have I
know,
done?
So it's like, I don't want people to go, oh, it's just his voice, like, whatever. Like, Dante being voiced by Nero is a choice, but whatever. Like, I don't...
Wait, are you saying the voice actor that did Nero is doing Dante's voice in that show?
Johnny Young Bosch is Johnny Young Bosch
okay.
is doing Dante's voice.
So can I say this? Because I know Preston loves him, right?
He's great.
He's great. His voice as Dante sucks. I'm sorry.
Well, here's the thing, is that, like, he's not Dante.
No,
like,
it sucks.
He's Nero, and there's a reason that he's Nero. Like, it doesn't... That's a whole other thing.
Preston,
right?
don't hate
But, like,
me for that, but it's bad.
I'm not even going to go that route, though, because that's too easy, in my opinion. Like, yes. Do I think the character's voice is wrong? 100%. Am I, like, would I rather literally anybody else be there? Sure. But you want to cast Johnny Young Bosch and then maybe in a later season also have him do Nero, but in a different way? Whatever. I don't care. The real problem with that show is that it is Devil May Cry only in name, and that the fact that there is somebody named Dante in that show, there is somebody named Virgil, there is somebody named Lady, and that is fucking it. Like,
I think I told you that. Like the enemies in the first episode, they've like made them up. Like they're not even in like the
demons
world.
are like there's like this weird
Rabbit
fucking
thing?
techno fucking realm that's like demons are like in a parallel like thing. It's like no. It is garbage.
Yeah.
It is basically just saying like, and the guy and here's what everybody needs to know. There was a game that came out back when Capcom was not sure what direction they wanted to go, whether they wanted to make shitty games or continue to make great games. And they let Ninja Theory do a Devil May Cry game, and it was called DMC Devil May Cry, in which they turned Dante into what the community affectionately calls him, Dante, which is he's a fucking meth head that is like all fucking weird, and they had like a whole slideshow about how like basically saying like old Dante is weird and gay. This is not my words, that's theirs. And new Dante is straight and fucks bitches, so that's what we're aiming for. It's like, okay, cool. And what they came out with was a fucking awful game that nobody liked. And Capcom then put it up against DMC4 Special Edition, so the old game, the old Capcom test that everybody loved. And DMC4 Special Edition blew it out of the water. And so we got, thank God, we lived in a timeline where we got DMC5. But one of the guys that was part of and really loved Ninja Theory's game, he's the creative mind behind this show.
Did he leave Capcom and went and did this, or he's still part of Capcom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't believe he has any tie to Capcom whatsoever anymore. I don't know about that 100%, but he's the one that's behind this, and boy, does it show in every single aspect of the show.
They had, like, teleporting rabbit demons that had guns and other shit, and, like...
Cool.
I made it to the opening credits when Limp Bizkit started playing, and that was the moment I turned it off and was like, that's not anything anyone has ever asked for.
Nope. Nope, it's trash. So don't watch it.
So don't watch that.
Don't watch that.
All right. Well, outside of that, I went and saw Revenge of the Sith while it was in theaters. I saw that a couple nights ago, so that was pretty cool. It's kind of wild to think that that movie's over 20 years old, and I went and saw a midnight premiere of that at Pullman Square, oddly enough, Alex. So it's, I had watched the two movies leading up to that. The prequels have kind of grown on me over the years after, the new movies or whatever, but... So enjoyed that. In the way of games, I've been playing a little bit of Oblivion Remastered. Not playing Final Fantasy or Monster Hunter, so I'm just going to go ahead and get that out of the way so I can get harassed about that later. A little bit of Assassin's Creed Shadows. But I've honestly been playing... I started Bramble, so I got to the halfway point of that. And then I did finish Black. I just didn't... I heard the sass from Preston that I didn't comment, so I will make sure to do that.
Well, now's your chance. No, just do it now. You're here. Don't. You said you're going to comment forever, and you never have. Just do it since you're on the show.
Man, you can tell Alex is stretching for content. No, I'm just kidding.
We're fine.
No, I mean, my overall thing was pretty much everything you all said about Black. It kind of reminded me, and I think Preston had said it, and I think I even said this to Alex at one point in time, that it was like as if Michael Bay made an action game and had a limited budget is kind of what Black reminded me of. I think the star of the show was obviously the guns and the gunplay, but the environments left a little bit to be desired. The AI. I still never got over the fact that AI could see me from a mile away. That was always very annoying. But, it's one of those things where I, too, played through it many years ago. And I never played through it in co-op. I actually had no idea it even had co-op, to be honest with you, until you all talked about it. But it was one of those things where I forgot that there was, like, those live-action cutscenes in between missions and stuff. But overall, it was okay. If I had to give it a rating, like, in your all's wheelhouse, I guess it would be, like, probably a 2 out of 5, I think is what you all rate games at.
I think that's very fair.
My biggest... I remember the cutscenes when we got into it. I forgot that it just ended on a cliffhanger, which is
because
very upsetting.
Yeah, because they had planned on doing, like you all had said, they had planned on doing the sequel, but obviously, trust me, I would have much rather got more Burnout games,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm glad you'll have a palate cleanser in Bramble. I'm glad you're playing along. To complete it, it took me exactly 180 minutes, so exactly 3 hours. To beat Bramble.
And
what it took me.
And I think the first part was till you fall off the waterfall. That was where the first half was. But you guys have already finished it, so I'm okay to just continue to play then, right?
I've finished it. Christian, have you finished it?
Okay. Well, I'll just probably
we'll talk about it.
Finish it.
We'll talk about it when Preston's back.
Okay. Cool. But
I can't wait to talk about it. I won't say any. The only thing I will say, not game related, is music related. If anybody loves the music of like the Witcher games, or like I know Jake likes kind of the like folklore-y type music. If you just want some music in the background, maybe you're reading or whatever, Bramble's soundtrack is incredible. We'll talk about it later, but music was so good in one of the boss fights that after I finished the game, I chapter skipped back to that boss fight to do it again. The music is incredible in that game.
Well, that's also sharing something similar with the game that you and I both played this week. So,
Well, perfect. Well, I'll actually turn over to one of you two because that's all I've done. So,
I can go.
Yeah. Go
So
ahead. I actually have a decent week this week for once.
Huh?
I have a decent week
yeah.
this week for once.
So I did a little bit of traveling. Not that anything ever it lined up so that it didn't affect the show at all. But we went down to Nashville for Alexa's birthday for a little bit. I went to the Promised Land.
Can I ask
This
you
for the
something?
first
When
time?
did you?
No, it's not my first time. It was my first time taking Alexa. It's her first time.
Oh, okay.
When did you guys get there? Like, what day did you leave to get down there?
Thursday is when we left.
So you were in Nashville as your soccer team was also in Nashville.
Yes, and guess who didn't know that? Me.
You
Although-
know, as a season ticket holder, you get like free away tickets. You actually could have gone.
Except that we had other people there that
Oh, okay.
weren't right, and so I didn't know. And I knew we had an away game. I didn't look at who. I just saw that it was an away game. I was like, well, that lines up perfectly. We'll be gone this weekend. We'll be back next weekend from when they're back at home. Great, good to go. And so I put it up at the Airbnb because I was waiting for people to get ready. And so I was like, well, I mean, I'm not going to not watch it while I'm waiting for people to get ready.
Yeah.
And so then I put it up, and I saw that it was Nashville, and it was right at the start. So, they shoot the fireworks off.
Uh-huh.
I look out the Airbnb's window,
You see
and I
'em?
see the fireworks, and I was like,
amazing.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I was so pissed.
So
Although-
Travis, wait, before he gives anything away, our game was earlier, right? Atlanta's game was earlier, and he
Yeah.
texts me. He says we went out. So we never go out to watch games. We went out to a sports bar to watch this game. Terrible experience. If anybody is ever in Atlanta, you have a chance to go down to Ballpark Village. It's a place called Live at the Battery. Don't go. Fucking trash. The worst experience I've ever had. I just want to say that publicly on air. So anyway, we went out to this game. Christian goes, "Hey buddy, good luck today." And I go, "We've already lost 3-0. Thanks." And then to which point Christian responds,
Said, "Hold my beer."
About 30-ish minutes
Yeah.
later, I respond, and I go, what did I said?
He said, "At least it's not 6."
No, 5. I said 5.
Five.
Yeah, I go, at least you're not losing 5-0. And Alex texts me back and goes, are you joking me? And he goes, is it actually 5-0? And
I
then
said,
texted back and I said,
Did you lose 5-0?
no, I go, no, not yet. It could get worse. And then I went, like just now, it's at 6. And
Oof.
So that's what I was gonna say. It's a good thing that I was not at that game because
You would have had not good things to say.
it'd have been a problem for sure.
He-
I would have had not nice things to say.
He responded with one of the funniest things I've ever read. I literally laughed out loud with Allie. Because I was commentating this to Allie as you texted back, and her jaw was just open, like, I can't believe Chicago is losing by 6 goals. We went and turned it on, they scored a 7th, and Christian was just like, I'm going to murder everyone in Nashville. I'm going to drown them in a sea of Italian sausage.
No, Italian beef.
Italian beef is what it was. I just so funny. So
no.
Christian, before you get into your week, I just wanted the reason I wanted to bring that up because when you said you're in Nashville and you're lost, I just want everybody to know Atlanta is on a 3-game losing streak. Atlanta has not scored a goal in 3 games. Last game, we didn't even have a shot on target. We lost by 3 last game. We lost by 3 the game before. Right now, we're a bad team. Okay? We play Nashville at home this week. And I will be there.
Oh, no!
So, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
so.
hopefully yours goes better than mine, or our time playing them. We did score 3 that game.
Some good goals. Honestly, if somebody would have turned, you could have scored 5 in about 25 minutes. Like there at the end, they picked.
I know, and so here's the thing, right?
Two were off the post. Like
yes, so I'm 7-3, 7-5, whatever. Regardless, I mean this with my whole heart. Even if we had managed to score 7 on our own, and we would have gotten a tie, like left with a draw, it still would not make me feel better about that game.
Oh,
Like,
that would have been historic, though. I would have.
it would have been. It would have been, but I would have been still upset because I'd have been like, guys, this is unbelievable behavior. Like, what are we fucking doing? And the best part was that 5 of Nashville's 7 goals came from not the person that they're paying millions of dollars to score their goals.
Yeah,
It
not
came
Honey
from,
Mukhtar.
I believe, one of their fucking homegrown
Defenders or
talents.
something.
And it's like, dude... And the guy, there was a moment where they kept putting the camera in his face. He couldn't even fucking believe what was going on. He was like, dude, what am I doing? Like, he had no idea. It was crazy. I don't know. I'm hoping that we play better this weekend. I'm not on a 3-game losing streak. But so we're just above Alex, I think, in the standings, like 1 spot above.
Yeah, we're 11th and 12th right now. But you guys were you were much higher. But before this week, you were like,
dude,
4th.
we were fucking 3rd for a little while. Then we were hovering at 5th. Like,
you're a good team.
It is. It's just it's just been a string of draws and other bullshit. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes this weekend. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. I went to the Promised Land. We went to Buc-ee's. It's great. I've got a fucking tank top that I've got on.
Like a Miami Vice.
Yes, I've got the water bottle. We had some food there. Alexa is also a big fan of Buc-ee's. It went out without a hitch. I was happy because I told her that this would be a defining moment in our marriage, is if we came away from this and she was like, I don't think Buc-ee's is for me, then I would be like, well, we have
It's
to
been a
figure
good
something
run.
out. Yeah.
Been a good run to divvy up the friends.
Yeah.
I honestly am so
but,
surprised you're a Buc-ee's fan. I'm just going to say that right now.
Oh, dude, I love Buc. So here's the thing. Let me explain why. So when I went to PAX South ages ago in San Antonio, I drove with some friends, so it was a road trip. They were already, Buc-ee believers. I had no fucking idea about it. And when I pulled up, Alex, it was our friend that was still... We worked at Best Buy together, who found all that information. I don't want to dox him or anything like that, but
Yeah, he's not, because he'll dox you right back.
Yeah, I know. But so we pull up and he's like, yo, you've got to go in. We've got to get all of this shit. Like, we're going to get this food, blah, blah. And I was like, guys, I'm not eating at a fucking gas station. Like, we're not doing that. No. And he's like, no, you don't understand. And he goes to try to explain it to me. And I was like, dude, I'm just going to be honest. This looks like a fucking Walmart with 120 gas pumps.
Yeah.
I'm all right. Like,
It's
I
fair.
don't want any of this. And he was like, shut the fuck up. We're going in, and you're going to try it. And I was like, all right, man, whatever, dude. So we go in. Guys, it's good. It's great. There's just nothing else that you need to know. Everything in there is quality. There's just, I don't know. It's something about everything they got in there. It's just fantastic.
Travis and I were on a work
here's-
trip in Alabama,
Huh?
heading back. Travis and I were on a work trip together, traveling back from Alabama, and we stopped at Buc-ee's. Last year, sometime. Yeah.
It's the truth. It's the
Yeah.
truth. And here's the real thing. Like, the actual is, if you're a person who does road trips, there is nothing worse than walking into a gas station or a rest stop, whatever, to go to try to go to the bathroom, whatever, and just see mayhem, like an actual war zone when you go to walk in. And so it is fucking refreshing to walk in somewhere that's like, this is sterile as it can get and clean.
Yeah.
Like, it at least it passes the eye test.
They are the
where
nicest
you walk in, you're like,
bathrooms.
yes. And so that's really what it. But also, like, it doesn't hurt that, like, their barbecue is actually fucking pretty good, especially if you're like in the middle. If my choices are to eat at Buc-ee's or eat a chicken sandwich that made Preston have food poisoning for 3 days from some random gas station on his way to St. Louis, look, I don't know. It's just going to be Buc-ee's all day. And so, yeah, what I was going to do was I had like a whole bit set up, but then I forgot that it wasn't. It ended up getting here on time, but I actually got one of the fucking giant Buc-ee's onesies that when you flip the hoodie up,
You're Bucky.
it's his fucking face that goes over. It's fantastic. So I'm sure that'll make an appearance on an episode. It's gonna be great.
That's very funny.
Yes. Anyway, so that trip happened. It was great, And while I was there, I started up a new game, and it has been progressing since, which is Expedition 33. I'll save that into the end here, just because I know Alex is also going to talk about it. And so we can just talk about it together. The only other thing that I've been doing is I did the new Monster Hunter event with Arch-Tempered Raydao. Yeah.
Did you kill it on your first try?
I did.
Was it your own mission or did you join one?
It was mine.
Okay. I joined 3. Like I didn't before I shot a flare off, I actually just SOS joined 3. And the first one, all 3 attempts were done before I got to the back of the map to fight him. The second one, I hit him twice. One guy got carded as soon as I hit him, and then I mounted him, and by the time I was done mounting, that guy made it back and got one shot again and ended it. And then the third one, we fought him for about 10 minutes, and 2 guys got carded 3 times. I fought him 3 times, never got carded, and we failed. And on the 4th and 5th time, we beat it, no problem, because I actually had competent people.
So that's crazy. I had the exact opposite experience. I fought him 5 times in a row, and we won all 5 times.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I don't know. He has a couple extra hard hitting moves. Him being Arch-Tempered, he's a little bit more aggressive.
He hasn't killed me once.
I actually think that Tempered Mitsutsume is harder than he is.
Yeah. With that,
I don't know if that's because I know the Raydao moveset better than I knew the Mitsutsume moveset. I don't know. But yeah, I knocked that out.
The only thing that seems to be harder is when he goes straight down and does the AoE under his face. It's a larger area of effect. But if you get out of that,
a little bit, yeah.
Everything else is like so telegraphed that I don't even get hit.
So I don't know. It's good. I just honestly, I'm at the point with Wilds where I just want I want more. I'm hoping so. The next title update has 3 monsters. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for that because that'll give a little bit more to sink our teeth into. Mm-hmm. But yeah, other than that, it was good. The fight was cool. And and then the thing that I'm playing outside of Expedition 33 is I've decided, because they were all on sale, and it'll probably be the last games that we purchase here for a little while, I want to play Avowed, but I'm going to go, because I know that Avowed is a setting sequel to Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2. I'm playing through Pillars right now, so I'm playing through the first one on Steam Deck. Runs fantastic. It's perfect. And so far it's been great. I'm pretty early on, so not too much to report, but it definitely is awesome. So I'm going to make my way through those, play Avowed, and then go from there. But yeah, so Expedition 33. Man, I don't know what this is. Even right now, before I know how it ends, if it maintains the level of quality that it is shown so far, this is easy game of the year.
How far are you in?
Nothing would even be close. I'm 3/4 of the way through Act 2. And so I obviously it's brand new, so I'm not gonna I won't be spoiling anything for anybody. But when I saw this game, I was like, dude, this looks like Lost Odyssey. Straight up, that's what this game looks like. I really hope that's what they're going for. Blah blah. It definitely is. It definitely does not shy away from wearing its inspiration on its sleeves. It totally is going for that style of RPG, but then also updating it and putting some extra tweaks and modern things on there. the story, the gameplay, the atmosphere, like just art, everything about it is just full. Like, I don't really have any complaints. I think it's fucking perfect. There is some performance issues on the PC version, and I was talking to Alex about this today. It People have already found out, they've dug through it, that more or less what the developers did is just hit export to PC on Unreal Engine 5 and then let that rock, and that's the build. And so there are you'll see some occasional hitching inside cutscenes. You'll see some like random performance, weird physics stuff here and there. But to be honest, since this game is $45, I don't care. Like, this feels like, so back in the day, and this is not like a derogatory way of saying it, but back in the day, some of the best games that came out were above indie quality, but they were below like your triple, quadruple A, whatever the fuck, big budget, like master things. But so people always called them like double A games. Like, they fit like this little middle ground. And for the longest time, we have lost that. Like, that's not a thing. Like, people just don't do those kind of games very much anymore. And this feels like that's what this is. Like, it is hyper focused on exactly what its scope is super narrow. Like, it's not some giant, sprawling, massive 400-hour, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, massive RPG. It has a little bit of sprawling, like little forks off the path here and there that you can go explore and you can go do things. But it is very linear. Like, it points exactly where you need to go almost all the time, and you just go and do those things. But because of that, and because of that narrower scope, it is incredibly focused and polished on what it wants to do. And so because of it does all of that super well. Again, I don't want to like go too far into specifics because I want people to go and like experience it for themselves. The only thing I'll say is that like the combat in this game adding like, and I'm only going to talk about what's in the trailers, it having a parry system in a turn-based game, as well as the Lost Odyssey like critical like finding. So in Lost Odyssey, it was a ring, like, so the character would run up and go to do its animation, and a ring would come into the screen, and as soon as it fit right over the spot that it was supposed to fit, you would press A, and you would get extra damage, critical hit, different augments on moves or whatever. Same thing happens here. You run up, and it'll have the X or A button, depending on what kind of controller you're using, and we'll have like a little quick time event. Same thing. As soon as it hits the right part of the right color of the thing, you press that button, and then boom, extra damage, criticals, whatever. They've added, like I said, they added the parry system on top of that, so you get extra defense when attacks are coming in. They also have the dodge system.
What I love about those that are turn-based, the dodge and the parry specifically, it's not like, hey, we've incorporated a dodge and a parry like because you can get yourself extra defense. It's like, if you don't engage with our system, it's a fun system, but if you don't engage with it, you're gonna die. Like, it's an imperative piece to their gameplay, which is so interesting. It's such an interesting action addition to a turn-based game.
Yeah, and that's the is like, and it's great because if they only had one or the other, people would be upset. It's the fact that they have both that makes it so perfect, because the dodge system is there to help you learn the parry timings. And then once you start getting perfect dodges, those perfect dodges are the exact timing that you need for the parries. So the dodge window is it's a little wider, and so you can get out of the way of an attack and go, cool, I took no damage. But as you start getting more comfortable and you start inching up towards where that perfect dodge would be, once you start nailing that, you're like, okay, well, I know the parry timing now. So you do that, then as long as you parry every attack in whatever sequence is happening, you get a massive counter hit with huge damage, and it's just, it's fantastic.
It's so satisfying, too.
Yes, I think that if you are into games that just a great story, like, period, outside of the gameplay, like turn-based, whatever, because I've already seen people who are like, oh, I'm not into turn-based games, I'm not going to go check this out. It's like you are missing out on something that you don't even know. So like, just if you're into like really well written and realized stories and characters and different things like that, and check out this game. Just go check it out. If you have Steam, you can check it out on Steam and get the 2 hour refund window. It's on Game Pass, so if you're already paying for Game Pass, there's like literally no reason to go check it out or not to go check it out. Yeah, that's all I play. But Alex, I'll let you keep going about it too. But yeah, it's fucking fantastic.
I'll build to that one. So what have I done? I did the event today of the Ray Dow thing. I hopped on because I remembered it was going on. I'll hop on and continue to fight it a few more times. I think I have to fight it 5-ish more times, maybe a bit fewer, depending on how lucky I get with some drops. Because I'm at this beautiful point in Monster Hunter Wilds where I've got all the crowns, I've got the platinum, I've made all my weapons, and I've made every armor set except for 2, which is the Ray Dow, which is limited event, and then the what was the last enemy that they just brought out, the big one? Why can't I think of his name?
Zoshia.
But Zoshia doesn't go away. It's just an always there monster, so I can do that at any time. But I've made every armor set, so I'll finish off the Ray Dow Gamma set, which is the 1 edition. I've done all the festival stuff. I look dope, and I'm good. I'm good. And honestly, I'm very happy with like the time I've spent with that game because it's well over 150 hours, and I'm happy with my level. But I'm at this beautiful point now where I've done all that stuff as other games have come out, so I'm able to move on pretty easily. So due to some weird circumstances with work, I have acquired Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I've played about an hour of that. It looks pretty. There are just other games out right now that are better, and here's the problem.
That's always the case with Assassin's Creed.
No, well, yeah, sure, I get it, but here's the problem. I played Expedition 33 first.
Mistake.
And I played a little bit of Oblivion, which I'll talk about in a minute, first. And then I got into Assassin's Creed for work. And, like, when I get into Assassin's Creed, there's a lot, because they're introducing 2 characters, there's a lot of story in the first 45 minutes that it forces you to do. So it slows it down, because they're like, they want you to do Yusuke, they want you to know whatever her name is, starts with an N or what have you. And they also want you to parry, because it's like samurai stuff, and the parry's not as good as Expedition 33, which is crazy because it's an action game, and the parry's not as good.
Also, Expedition 33 is made by 83 people and 1 dog, and Assassin's Creed is made by thousands of people.
And like the other problem is it's not as good as Ghost of Tsushima. So I was a little sad when I started playing that game that like this felt like a little bit of a worse version. And I already felt like I wasn't loving it, because as soon as I get the girl's character, stuff happens and they're like, you got to go retrieve this box and kill this person. And I ran in across some rooftops because I'm a ninja. I dropped in, I grabbed the box, like, great, go kill this person. I climbed up a wall, and there's like people around. They're just not noticing me, I guess. I climb up a wall, I throw my grappling hook, I swing, I drop on this guy, assassinate him from the air, and then it's like, escape! And they want you to like fight your way out, and I was like, I'm just gonna run. And I just ran. And I jumped off a wall, they're like, sweet, you made it, cutscene. I'm just like, okay. Like, no, my actions don't have consequences, and I just feel like I'm already doing stuff to do stuff. So I'm sure it's probably good. I just am not in the headspace to play it because the other games I've been playing are great right now. I played Oblivion. Oblivion is the same game that you know, and I want to say for better or worse, but I'll go ahead and say for better, because it looks fantastic. And Christian, I think somebody said this in our Discord group, like, it looks the way in my head it always looked as a kid, right? But like clearly it's better. So it's great. So like you start the game off and you're escaping prison by following the emperor through these sewers, and because the game is the same game, all the old tricks work. So I just crouched and walked behind him the whole time and got to a room where there was like a rat and a goblin walking around, and I just posted myself up between two stalagmites and just walked in circles and just sneak number go up, man. And like I at one point
Tell
took
him
my
what Allie.
hairband out.
Yeah, tell him what Allie said.
I did. So I took my hairband out and I put it on the Steam Deck joysticks. And I just set my Steam Deck to the side and watched TV with Allie for an hour and a half while my character's just walking in a circle.
Oh.
And Allie's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Playing Oblivion." And she's like, "It looks like you're walking in circles." And I was like, "Clearly, you've never played Oblivion." Mm-hmm. So I got my sneak to level 70, and then I get to finally the last room where the Emperor is, and he gives you the whole lore dump, and the game's like, "Hey, before you leave the sewers, pick what sign you're bored under and pick your class." And I'm like, "Cool, I'm a warrior, and I'm bored under this sign." And they're like, "Oh, well, here's an extra plus 30 bump to your sneak based on what you picked." So I leave the sewers, my sneak's 100. So I'm just walking around Cyrodiil, and anytime I see somebody, I just crouch, broad daylight, walk over, just bonk them on the head, because I'm a warrior, super strong, and walk away. Like, because this game's been around for so long, and many people that have played it before, it was always a broken game. But now it's broken even more, because it's super pretty, and it runs well enough. But it hasn't changed. So all the old tricks work. First thing I do is get the skeleton keys, and I now have a castle. So I am running around unstoppable right now. So it's great. I'll continue to play that throughout the year because, the game's so freaking long, but it's fantastic. And it really does look great. Christian, I will say I haven't made it fully into an Oblivion Gate, but what they did with the Oblivion Gates in the way they've animated them, where you can see the inside of it, as well as some of the reflection of both inside and outside in the flames on the side, somebody put some work into the look and animation of those, where it looks great, but it is the same game. Then I played, because of our Discord server, I've seen people talk about Clair Obscur. I saw people very high on drafting it in our fantasy league, and along with Blueprints, this game is rated so high, and it's a great year for gaming, and blah blah blah. Nobody was giving spoilers, but all right, well, I see these people who gaming is their thing, right? Gaming, comics are my thing, but this is what they do. I was let me go check this game out. I don't recall seeing a trailer for this. I didn't dive deep on this game before it came out, so I went in very blind. And man, 10 minutes in,
we saw it during it was TGS, I think, is when we saw it.
And we may have, but the only thing I really remember, I remember that other actiony game that was kind of the Knights of the Round Table, and I remember a few other things, but I don't specifically remember this one. I think I remember this twisted version of Paris, but I don't remember any footage from it, right? And this game, 10 minutes in, I'm by myself in the office, almost in full-blown tears from one of the opening cutscenes. I don't even know these characters yet, and they have you feel so much emotion early on. I told Christian, it is a true masterclass in how to use music to your advantage in cutscenes and tone and setting. It's amazing. But everything that Christian talked about, I just second. The turn-based system feels good. It's a modern take on that with the parry and the dodge and all the stuff they add to it. The enemies are unique, so they keep you on your toes. And they do a good enough job to where, I've been killed a few times trying to perfect parry some of these enemies or perfect dodge, and, their timings are off, so the first time you encounter them, they're tough, and if you run into a few, you get overwhelmed. But they're so smart about the way their quick save works or their auto save works that you never come back. Every time you come back, you've never lost much time. A lot of times you're even back in the fight within seconds. So you don't feel super punished from a game perspective. They've pulled from other games. So the weapons are based off of scale based off of stats, agility and strength and other things, kind of like a Soulsborne game would do. So you can level different stats in order to get more out of your weapon. It's brilliant, and it looks great. And I will say it's the first game that I've played this year that has pulled me away from other games. Like Pirate Yakuza, I was playing Monster Hunter, and I was like, I'll still go back to Monster Hunter, right? But like this one, even when I hop on to do the new event for Monster Hunter, it's like I'm gonna hop on, kill this Ray Dow, and bounce, so I can go back to Expedition 33 as quick as possible. Like it is the game that I want to be playing. I finally made it to a part in the story at the getting close to the end of Act 1, because Christian, even though I started well before him, has passed me this week. I know.
Surprise.
I haven't been able to play.
Shoot or shoot. I don't know what to tell you.
I've also been traveling and haven't been able to play. But I'm getting to this point where like stuff is happening in the story, and I'm like, I don't know these two characters are introducing.
You are like maybe 30 minutes from the end of Act 1, so you're very close.
It's like I don't know what they're doing with the story. I don't know what they're doing with these characters they've just introduced, but I'm really excited to find out, because I can already tell they're not going to leave loose threads, right? But as Christian said, this game is so focused. Like they know what they want out of the story. They're going to tie it up. They're going to deliver on the things that have you right now going like, what does this mean? So I'm very excited to get there. And I love the characters. Like I've met 4 characters so far, and they are great. For those that aren't familiar with the game, the main character Gustav is voiced by Charlie Cox of Daredevil fame, and I believe I know which character is Andy Serkis, but Andy Serkis voiced one. He's not one that's become a main character yet. I've met him a couple times, but I think I know that one. And then the guy that played Clive in Final Fantasy 16 plays a character in this game as well. It is so much charm. Who's
the main
polish.
character's face based off of?
Oh yeah, so I Christian, I don't think I told you this. I know
Some
you're
French
like,
dork.
No, I know you're not as like into movies as I am and so on, but like go look up a front picture and a side profile picture of Robert Pattinson, right? You know Robert Pattinson, like of Twilight and all that other shit. Yeah. But go look up a picture and look at the Gustav. I know that Charlie Cox voices him, but it almost makes you wonder if there was a hope that Robert Pattinson might have been the voice at first.
No, I think the characters are based off their mocap people.
Yeah, maybe not. It is identical. Like even Allie walked in the room, she's like, "Oh, that looks like Robert Pattinson." I'm like, it really, really does.
I can kind of see it.
It's very close.
I'm pretty sure that all of the characters are based off of their mocap people, though. And they're just voiced by those other people.
And they very well might be. But man, from minute 1, when I didn't know it was Charlie Cox, I knew Charlie Cox in the game, but it wasn't immediately identifiable to me. I was like, oh, this guy just looks like Robert Pattinson. Like straight up. Side profile, nose. He has a very distinct nose and everything. I was like, this is ridiculous. But yeah, man, it's good. They have a completely unique, very French story. But like these little
very
French. These little people they've come up with called Gestrels, Gestrels, are so funny and clever.
Yes.
I've unlocked new outfits. Travis, you saw one, which was like me in a French mime outfit with a red beret. Yeah. Might as well be holding like a long cigarette like holder. It's just it's so ridiculous, but so good.
I do have to ask. So between, I mean, I know you're not finished with it yet. So between Monster Hunter and this, which is game of the year for you all so far? I guess it depends on.
Well,
if it sticks
you heard. Yeah, you heard what Christian said. If it sticks to the landing, I would agree. Like, regardless of the time I've put into Monster Hunter, which is 200 hours plus now, I believe, it has to be this. Because while we all knew what Monster Hunter would do, and they've iterated a little bit, right? They've added some cool things with the counterattacks and like, you know, the deflects and the stuff they've done. But at the core of this game, it is a Monster Hunter game. And because of that, Christian and I have been able to break it in ways we've never done before because of our experience, right? With like, you know, the crowns and everything else. We've moved through it very, very quickly. And we've moved through it with relative ease because we were used to doing the harder difficulty monsters on other games, and those aren't out yet in this game, so it's pretty easy. It's great. I love the addition of the story and everything else, but at the core of it, it is Monster Hunter. This game's fresh, man, and like the story is good, and it's doing different things on an old classic turn-based system. And I think because of that, same thing, like they could truly fumble the landing, but even if the landing gets fumbled a little bit, it's going to have some leeway because everything else up to this point is polished and great, and the story to this point is great, right? So like, yeah, I agree. It's new. It feels good to play.
Yeah, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, like even other great games, like when I finish Pirate Yakuza, I'm sure that's gonna be great as well. But like, that is still just like every action Yakuza game leading up to that point, right? Like I've been Majima before. At its core, it is still the same game. Like so many franchises today. Oblivion is Oblivion. Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed. Like so many things today are iterations of what have come before. And while that doesn't mean they're bad, they haven't changed too much. So when things are truly unique, this one, I will get to Blueprint sometime this year because I've been recommended that and I hear it's great. Like when you get something that's actually fresh and new, it feels really, really good.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. So anyway, that's that. But yeah, those are all the games that I've played. So I had a chance to dabble in a lot of things. And I've been experiencing a little bit with GeForce Now recently as a way for me to play again, like do some work stuff. But it also allowed me to re-up my Game Pass subscription. And that's where I'm playing Expedition 33. To Christian's point, I've had some interesting issues, and I know other people in our Discord have had interesting issues. Like for a while, every new area I went into, the game just crashed. And like I would pull it back up and it'd be fine for the first time. I didn't see that recently, but I also know Nvidia's done 2 graphics card updates within the past 2 weeks. So who knows what is the game, what is my graphics card, because Nvidia's in a weird spot right now. But otherwise, it runs
something like that.
I have weird issues too. Like I have an ultra wide monitor. I know most people don't, but Travis, you do. So like sometimes my game just zooms in, which again it hasn't done in a while. It may have been a post first week fix, but like in the first week it would randomly zoom in, which made parrying a little difficult because I couldn't always see. But I can forgive those little things because the team is so small, and what they've done.
And the price point.
Well, I'm playing it for even cheaper. I'm playing it for free right now because I'm doing it on Game Pass.
On Game Pass, but still, yes.
Yeah, right. Like, but the price point at $50 is in a world we live in where even Microsoft today has announced that they will be increasing their hardware and their accessories and their games because fuck you. Did they even give a reason for that?
Tariffs.
Was that the official reason?
Yep.
Bullshit.
Yesterday's prices ain't today's prices.
Yeah. So in the world we live in, it's refreshing that this team released a game at $50 that isn't this good. And I hope more teams keep doing it. Blueprints is not $80, right?
It's sure not.
Well,
That's sure not.
20.
And they didn't even release it in early access at discount. It's just a full-on release at a cheaper price, which is nice.
Yeah, so I really hope we're moving to this interesting fight between the industry, and I know Preston, even though he's not here with us, was saying this in chat. We'll see what happens with indie developers, because if they do keep games cheaper while everybody else, first-party studios, AAAs, are making their games more expensive, it'll be this interesting battle between, like, what do people actually care about? I think people prefer a good story and a good game over a big name and a big price, right? I was the negative Nancy because I think as indie developers catch on, they too will raise their prices, albeit still cheaper, but price goes up. It still matters, right? But if they don't, if as a whole, a lot of those smaller publishers and developers that work with those publishers like Annapurna and Devolver and other stuff, if they stay around the price point they're at now, it's going to be an interesting time in the industry where I think those big studios will, well, I won't say have a reckoning because you always have people that buy one game a year, but I think they're going to see an interesting trend.
Yep. I hope so.
I hope so too. So anyway, that is that for our week. I know I was going to bring a topic today, and I told Travis to prep for said topic. But we've gone a while for our week. And I think that I would like to bring Preston in on it. So, Travis, we're going to have you back.
That's
Don't
fine.
get rid of your answers for this topic. We're going to
That's
have
fine.
you back
I already wrote notes, so you're
soon.
good.
Okay. We're going to have you back soon. When Preston gets back and we're back to our normal week, we'll bring this topic to that, and we'll have you back on and hear your take on it. But since we've gone long enough, I think I'd like to hear his take on it as well.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, we should try to get Jake too.
You know what? Why not? Why don't we just make it a party? And we'll have everybody on. I'll reach out to Jake this week. So everybody listening, look out for that here. Coming soon. We have a fun little side quest topic
Do those
where
for
we'll
the
have both
countdowns.
Travis and Jake back on. And we'll talk about something that ties to a recent release of Oblivion and get some people's thoughts on the Elder Scrolls franchise. But thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. Don't forget to check in. I think Preston will be back streaming this Sunday, right?
I don't know about. I think he's gonna stream on Monday.
Monday, that's right. He said Monday because it's the Revenge of the Sith anniversary, and he's streaming, if I'm not mistaken, on Tuesday as well, because May the 5th. You guys are not gonna get me saying that. Yeah, it's stupid. But yeah, so I might be wrong on Sunday, but don't forget to check out.
You guys are not going to get me saying that. Proceeds to say it immediately.
So just don't forget to check Preston out as he's back on his Star Wars game Monday and Tuesday, and then we're back into our normal routine. So thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. And oh shit, who knows what to do this week?
That's a great question.
We're lost. We're all lost. We will. I hope Preston's able to fade this out because the three of us are going to be trapped here forever because we don't know what to do. Thanks, everybody. Catch you next week.
Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or to check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. If watching is more your thing, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@thetestingroom, or watch us live on twitch.tv/testingroomlive. To leave comments or ask questions, you can follow us on Instagram @testingroompod, leave a comment on YouTube, or send them in to testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.